Welcome everyone. Thank you very much for joining me here on IPO Market Watch. If you are new to this YouTube channel, consider hitting the subscribe button as that really does help us grow. Hit the like button. You can also join us on Patreon. The link will be at the bottom of your screen or also in the description of the video. So for the new viewers, you might want to subscribe because I come up with videos about stocks that I think are a buy. For me, personally speaking, not for you. It's not financial advice. You have to do your own homework, right? But I do I'm an investor. I love the stock market. I love sharing my ideas of what I think could be a great stock or not. In this video, we're going to focus on Rocket Lab's earnings tomorrow because, guys, there is something positive and something very negative that you might want to know about, in my opinion. Right, so I'll share that with you, and so let's get started. First of all, before I talk about Rocket Lab, Zeta Global Holdings Corp. Here is a YouTube video I did about Zeta Global Holdings Corp. Ticker symbol ZETA. It was $5.26. Here's me right here, and like I said, $5.26. Keep that in mind. So the stock is a buy. High growth ahead was the title of the YouTube video. That YouTube video was 2 years ago. It got only 700 some views, so rarely, and nobody cared, nobody saw it. Big mistake. I'm joking. Well, you can do whatever you want, but it is a big, okay. It was 526. So where's the stock today? The stock is at $35.93, almost 36 bucks. So from 5 to 36. Was it too long of a hold, 2 years? No. What's wrong with some people? Why can't you hold a stock for a year or two? Like if you buy a good company and you know what you bought, what's the big deal? Now let's move on to Rocket Lab. Rocket Lab. Here's a screenshot of my Rocket Lab USA video, one of 20. I've done many videos on them. So it was at 385. Hold them a buy, and the stock right now is at 1394. Like way over 200% minimum gains, right? That's huge. That's insane. So 1394, and they have earnings tomorrow. What is going on? Is it a buy for earnings? If you are new to investing in Rocket Lab, I can't tell you what it is, what is a buy or not. In fact, I hate telling people that, new investors, yeah, this is a buy when it has already gone up way over from the first time I actually had talked about it. So it's over 200% already. But for those who are holding Rocket Lab, what's the positive? What's the negative? Let's get to that part. So just real quick, I want to cover this in case there are new investors that don't know who Rocket Lab is. Rocket Lab is a space company which provides launch services and space system solutions for the space and defense industries. So they have their own rockets and they can launch something for their customers, a satellite, or they can build a satellite for a customer who wants a specific satellite built for them. Is it a promising long-term stock? Personally speaking, for me, it is. But that doesn't mean it is for you. You'll have to do your own due diligence. What makes it initially, a promising long-term stock? Well, end-to-end space, everything covered. Who is there? Who's the top? Who's the best? Is there any? Yes, it's SpaceX, right? So if SpaceX is something so awesome and worth so much money, and it's so successful, well, like I always say that if there's one thing that does really awesome, it can't be alone. It can't be a monopoly. There's bound to be at least one competitor that's going to do very well also. Like for example, Amazon, and you have eBay, or Amazon and Etsy, Nike and Adidas. Maybe that sounds stupid to some, but for me, after SpaceX, the next best thing, and the next best thing that's going to grow to even better and better is Rocket Lab. The company's Electron rocket dominates the small satellite market, and the upcoming Neutron rocket will further boost capabilities and revenue streams, which is something I've talked about in many of my past videos, so I won't get into that right now. The short-term financial challenges is part of the earnings tomorrow that I want to highlight. And at the same time, part of that positive part of Rocket Lab is the robust backlog and the pipeline of what they're going to do with Neutron and constellations. So if you were in my Discord, you would know that we've been in and out of Rocket Lab so many times, always profitable and never lost a trade. In 2022, successful trade, a bunch of successful trades in and out in 2023, and then the final resting spot at $4.39 where I stayed and I still hold. This was a screenshot from April 4, 2024 that I posted for them to let them know. But even then, the stock was trading at $391. The earnings for Rocket Lab are tomorrow, November 12, 2024. Analysts are not so bullish on Rocket Lab going forward, but not in a negative way for the long term at all. They highlight that the balance sheet of Rocket Lab is way behind, like extremely way behind from the market cap of what the company is right now. Because the market cap of Rocket Lab right now, guys, is at $7 billion. A $7 billion market cap. And why does that not match at all with the balance sheet? Well, the short-term cash that they have is $496. So, okay, not bad. The revenue is growing, insane, not bad, but it is $326 million. We'll have way over $450 million in 2025 projected, so that's not bad. But then you look at net income, which is just getting worse and worse, and you look at free cash flow getting worse and worse, and you look at debt growing, getting worse. Here's the tricky part about all of this. The earnings for Rocket Lab tomorrow on November 12th, in my opinion, are going to be good. And I think that they're going to beat consensus estimates. And I think that also the company's going to have a lot of positive things to say. So if I'm right, then the stock can still move higher. Also, the stock can move higher because the Neutron rocket hasn't been launched yet. So we have that catalyst. Then we have the catalyst in the future for the constellations and then for the human space flights. So all those things, along with good earnings, can still propel the stock much higher. But at some point, and they already started. The analysts have already started taking, hits at Rocket Lab, saying, "Whoa, it is way overvalued right now." But basically, what analysts are saying is this, and that's what I believe also. Rocket Lab, for me, is a no-brainer for the long term. So am I selling my Rocket Lab shares that I bought at $439? I'm not, because I don't think I'll see $439 again. But do I believe that Rocket Lab is going to have a short to medium term of kind of sideways and hiccups? Yes. Why? And it deserves it, to be honest. The reason would be because the balance sheet needs to improve if we are going to say that, yeah, the market cap is way too much, but it has to, I'm not saying it has to match the market cap, obviously not right now at all, but it won't, but at least more improvements on the balance sheet. So analysts want to see better net income. They want to see better free cash flow. They want improvements on that. They want improvements in debt. Right? So if we can get improvements on those within the next 3 to 4 earnings, then the stock can say, okay, you know what? I deserve to run a lot higher. So analysts are saying within the next 12 months that they project that the stock will be $425, which I personally don't believe, $775 or 13 max. And it's at $13.94 now, and tomorrow, if earnings are good and the forward-looking statements are good, yes, the stock, in my opinion, should run a little higher, but we're stretching that overvaluation part. I am bullish in Rocket Lab. I am bullish for the long term. This is one of my top favorite stocks to hold. I'm definitely not letting go of it, personally speaking for me. I know it's going to grow. I believe in its growth in the future and all the things that it can do, but like I said, a little bit of a sideways and hiccups for a little while, we may have that because of the valuation going crazy. Thank you very much and take care.